I feel like we're going to say the word collaboration a lot today, so every time we do, drink your coffee. So let's see here. Let's start out. I'm Danny. That's Matt. We got the intros covered. I think what's important to talk to you guys about first is that, one, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. This is not going to be all fun and games. It's going to be a little bit difficult, the conversation will be, and we hope you guys can take some things away from it. Second, I think what's important to let you guys know is that we want to thank some folks as well. John, thank you so much for having us and putting this on. He's the curator for this organization and doing great work. The folks at Myriad Media, fantastic work helping us promote it. And then I wanted to point out over here, say, hey, Karen, with Drawing Insights, she is putting together, what do you call it?
Graphic recording.
A graphic recording of today. So after it's all said and done, check out what we've talked about. Karen's with Drawing Insights, and check her out. She's going to do some really cool creative work for us. They're all volunteers, and we run a volunteer organization, and volunteers, we think, make the world go round. So let's go to, you saw our favorite collaborations, right?
You want to go back?
Yeah, let's go back there.
Yeah.
I think that's important, really important, because it's not all about, you know, like Reese's, and Matt and I are very different people, and you look at sort of the Grateful Dead there, and Matt's favorite band, I wanted it with Milli Vanilli, still a fan. You know, Ernie and Bert, I mean, you couldn't have Ernie without Bert, right?
I could still do the Running Man, you know?
Let's do it.
You want to do it one time? All right.
Yeah.
One leg Running Man, there you go.
All right, good. All right, so let's go to the video. We're going to show you guys a quick 3-minute video of Band Together and really give you guys a sort of platform and understanding of the landscape and the foundation of what we built. It was the late, great Bob Marley who said, "One good thing about music is that when it hits you, you feel no pain."
Band Together is taking things that don't normally go together and turn them into a communal experience. Live music, volunteering, sponsorship, giving back. You can experience any one of these or all of them with Band Together.
Band Together is different from other nonprofits because we've created really a foundation of fun. I think if philanthropy and live music had a baby, it'd probably be Band Together.
Band Together has tapped into a cool factor that I don't think you can necessarily put a finger on.
Everybody loves to have a good time. But when you can have a good time and impact an organization that's trying to achieve social change and transformation at the same time, it makes you feel really, really good, not only about your experience, but about yourself.
Volunteering with Band Together has become something that's really important in my life. I see the good that we're doing, I'm having fun while I'm doing it, and I'm learning a lot at the same time.
Volunteer with Band Together is just an overwhelmingly fun experience for starters. I think it gives the volunteer a bird's eye view into what's going on, and that's special.
Sponsors keep coming back year after year, after 13 years now, because I think it comes down to one simple thing: they trust us, and that feels really good. We're great stewards of their money. They understand that our vetting process is very serious and rigorous and gets better every single year.
Band Together really makes a visible impact on these nonprofits they partner with. They're like-minded. Echelon and Band Together, we are like-minded people, we are like-minded members of our community, and so it's a really great partnership.
That annual commitment to a different nonprofit partner ensures that you're touching different lives in different ways year after year after year.
Band Together has really given the community a way to give back in a way that's fun, that's energetic, and so they have figured out really how to energize all of these people together around one cause. Using music as a platform for social change, Band Together has figured out a way to turn people into activists for a cause.
Band Together's future is bright. I see us with yearly $1 million events having a huge impact in our community building capacity for nonprofit organizations all around the Triangle.
I'd say the sky's the limit. We know it's going to be bigger bands, better music, bigger venues, bigger crowds, and ultimately more money. But it's also going to be a lot more fun, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a more profound impact of positive change in our community.
All right, so that's a little bit about Band Together. Now we're going to talk about collaboration. And when Matt and I were talking about collaboration, we thought, gosh, this is like a buzzword. And we were sort of like, this is one of those words that everybody's using and abusing, and it sort of hurt a little bit because it's such a great word. It's so important, right? And so when we started thinking about collaboration, and we were thinking about buzzwords, we thought it's not that bad. Synergies is bad. Anybody have any other bad buzzwords? Anybody? Words that just drive them crazy? Utilize, innovation. Anybody else? Efficiencies, good one. Anybody? What, catalyst? That's a good one, yeah? Leveraged, okay. We'll drop the mic on that one, Stan, thank you. So when we were thinking about collaboration, we were trying to shake up the whole like buzzword thing, and we thought we're not going to go back to like Latin root words here. We just broke down the word collaboration. What did we end up with, Matt?
Cool. And we ended up with lab. Cool lab.
And so we realized that it's early in the morning, and you guys seem like a feisty crowd anyway. We're going to do a little cheer here, okay?
Y'all been to a football game before, correct? Yeah? All right, when we hold it up, and we want to hear your spirit. Whoever, we're going to wake you up a little bit. Whoever's the loudest, we got a little prize for you.
And so we're going to separate the room now. So this is a little fewer people over here. You guys are the cools, right?
Come on, cools. Cheer it up a little bit. Give me a little love, yes.
And then we got the labs over here. We got safety in numbers. Let's hear the labs. Give a scream, man. Oh, you guys got a lot of work to do. Let's do this just so we're fair. You're over here, and if you're standing, you're with them, okay? All right, so when Matt holds up cool, we want to hear you yell cool. When I hold up lab, you know
Ready?
what to do. Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool! Lab! Cool! Lab! Cool! Lab!
All right.
Cool! Lab!
All right,
Awesome.
so we got a little something special for the winners.
I think cool got it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. You ready?
Yeah, you ready?
This is
Y'all
just
ready
special
this?
for you
This is
guys.
special. We practiced
Everybody else close their eyes.
We've been practicing for a week. Here we go.
Ready?
Cool, cool.
Wait.
No, you ready?
Cool, cool.
Lab, lab.
Cool lab. Oh, God. Okay. So there's that.
Yeah.
All right. So a little bit about Band Together. You guys probably know us as like this free-spirited, fun-loving organization that's like using live music with beer and fun, just helping nonprofits in the Triangle. $5.5 million has been raised. Really proud of that. We're doing this thing called Partnership Philanthropy. We've sort of earmarked this thing as something that's very unique for the nonprofit space, working together with a different nonprofit, a different need in the community every single year, which is really, really interesting. And it's a lot of fun. But the truth is, Matt, and I think you'd agree, it's not all wine, women's song, and charity.
It is not.
So
was that was my cue?
That's
Thank
your
you.
cue.
That was a softball.
Yeah.
You know, we could sit here all day and pat ourselves on the back, but that's not doing you justice. That's not doing us justice. We are Band Together is a great organization, but we think that opening up to you all, showing you our vulnerabilities, letting you peek under the covers and see the stuff that we don't like to see. I think that openness and that sharing is really going to be more impactful for you and us as we share this time here together today. And hopefully that might get your brain thinking about what's right here on your chest. We asked you when you came in to write down your worst personal characteristic, and man, I know that's got to be hard to write down. I mean, we all know it. We like to bury it a lot, but we know it. It's hard to write it down, but I think it's even tougher to pull that sticker off, stick it right here and walk around with a group of strangers, and some people we know, and say, hey, this is me. This is me. And that's not comfortable. We wanted to cause some discomfort, and I hope we did. Real quick, anybody out there have good, raise your hand if you had a good conversation about what you wrote. Anybody have conversations? Anybody? Just two? Thanks. A few? All right. So you can raise your hands and make us feel better, all right? Just whatever, but.
Thank you.
You know, anybody want to share what's on their name tag? Anyone want to take it a step further? Your worst personal characteristic? Bueller?
There we go. Here's
yes,
one.
Ma'am.
So I wrote worrywart because I am a very anxious person and I worry about everything and anything.
I love it. I love it. Worrywart. That's a great one. One more. Anybody? Yes, sir.
High sense of urgency. That can be good at times, but it can also frustrate everyone around me.
That scares me to death. And, yeah, and I don't. Hopefully you can see mine. I wrote it really big. Fear. Fear for me is so debilitating, and I know sometimes you can look at me and I look like a duck or maybe a goose on the water, very calm and placid, but underneath my legs are going like this because I'm always worried. What's going to happen next? I'm fearful. I take you back a few years just to get really vulnerable and really personal. Back in 2003, I was a big guy like I am now, and I had a friend that said, hey, I want to help you, Matt. I want to help you get healthy. But by doing that, we need to be vulnerable with one another. We need to share, and we need to get to the root of it. He said, you're not overweight because you eat too much. That's just a symptom. That's a symptom of your problem. Your problem is fear. And so we delved in deeper. He said, I want to help you, and I am going to help you. But here's the deal. When you lose 100 pounds with me, because I guarantee you it's going to happen, because we address the fear. We address the problem, not the symptom. We are going to go to Hillsborough Street, middle of the day. We're going to walk 3 blocks together with our T-shirts off in front of everybody. And for a big man, that scares the absolute crap out of me. And I don't know about y'all, but big guys, going to the beach, taking your shirt off, it's like, I'm getting shakes now just thinking about it. And I quickly said, all right, but I didn't put much thought into it. But I lost 100 pounds. And come May, all the girls are out. All the guys are out. My friends heard about it. My fraternity brothers heard about it. We meet right in front of Mitch's. And he's like, here we go. I strip my shirt off, and I'm about to pee in my pants. But we take the walk. We walk 3 blocks, right in front of D.H. Hill Library. We give each other a big, sweaty hug, because I realized something. I overcame that fear, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I went on to lose more weight. I went on to run the Chicago Marathon, and it was powerful. So showing your vulnerabilities is not a sign of weakness. It helps open up doors. It helps build trust. There's meaning in that.
You know, because when there's open dialogue and this sense of vulnerability as a strength, and there becomes meaning in your communications and your organizations and individually, that's when shit starts to get really real.
So I want to get real right now. As we go back kind of to band together. We partner, we collaborate with one nonprofit every single year. And like Danny says, I think the general public sees the big check, the rock and roll bands, the mics, all the fun, all the money, all the good stuff. But what you don't see is that year's worth of work. You know, I look back at some of our partnerships. Imagine a forced or arranged marriage with 2 other nonprofits. We're in the room together. Halfway through our partnership, have not started fundraising because we can't agree on how we're going to split the money, because we didn't set expectations on the front end, because we didn't do the work that it took to get there. So we're in that room together with a mediator trying to figure these things out. Another time, we said we are going to set expectations. We created this beautiful legal document with our partner. It was very one-sided towards us, and we delivered that to our partner, and man, we almost lost our partnership over that because it was so one-sided. We got called into their boardroom, And it was like a kid getting called into the principal's office. We took a little spanking that day. It was tough. It was tough. You know, every year we take on a different nonprofit partner, different cause. It is hard. That is so hard to collaborate with a different group every single year because it's new donors, new personalities. You could get donor fatigue, volunteer fatigue, just fatigue in general. Like, oh my God, do we have to do this all over again? The collaborative partnerships are not easy. They're difficult, they're hard, but I think we would all agree that sometimes the hardest things in life are the ones that give us the most reward.
So it's not all difficult, even though collaboration is hard. You know, the mediation, the legal stuff, the different nonprofit charities that we work with every single year, being called into the principal's office. That stuff's no fun, but when we think about the importance of the why, you know, why do we do this? We have to power through it. We have to do this together. We have to figure it out. That's critical. You know, it's the kids. You know, it's the people that we're serving in the community. As hard as that stuff was, being called in the principal's office and the discomfort that we had, we learned from that and we got better because of it. And I feel like it's important for you guys to think about yourselves because somebody's counting on you, whether it's in your business or your family, and you got to power through. You have to power through. So we talked about writing this new chapter in the nonprofit playbook called Partnership Philanthropy, and how we're doing that, and how we're taking this forced marriage and creating positive change inside the Triangle area, significant dollars. And we want to show you guys the root of how this all started, because you can't just jump into collaboration. You can't just like learn it, you know, in day one. It takes time. So we're going to walk you down memory lane, and we're going to show you the then and the now. But before we do that, Matt and I want to tell anybody in here who's interested in working with Band Together in a collaborative fashion is that most nonprofits that come to us, they think they've got to raise a whole bunch of money. And while that's critical, because the money is what does the work in the community, what's really important to Band Together when we are looking for the right nonprofit is how they approach partnership, how they understand and will approach collaboration, and how we can get really creative around that. So let's show these guys a little walk down memory lane here.
So if you look at Band Together early on, we started in 2001. So our early iterations, it was really Band Together is raising funds and awareness for a nonprofit or a cause. Fast forward to today, starting about 2010 on, now it's Band Together raises funds and awareness with a nonprofit. That for and with distinction is very, very key when it comes to collaboration.
And for those of you in the room who are analytical, metrics, measurements kinds of people, I drift to Carl. What that means in dollars and cents is that when we were doing it for a nonprofit, we were raising on average of $70,000, which is a great chunk of change for any nonprofit, right? Any single event. But today, flash forward to the idea where we're working in tandem with a nonprofit. We're getting into their offices, we're opening up our books, all that stuff. The average now is $520,000.
As I look back on our past, you know, the nonprofit space that we played in was very competitive. It was very territorial. We were as well as an organization. We realized that if we approach collaboration out of a sense of abundance instead of a sense of scarcity, things are going to change. We became, and it still are, a very open source organization. We tip our hats to Red Hat. It's a very cool concept. We share everything. We open up our donor databases. We share resources. We share best practices. And we've been better off for it.
So back in the day, it was do it our way or the highway. You know, it was more Sid Vicious and Sex Pistols version of Frank Sinatra's Do It My Way. It wasn't the swooning baritone. And we were drivers in our way. And today, share assets, solve problems together, find a deeper understanding of issues, possess a shared value of working together. And I realize I just read that, so Stan, you can shock me later. That's a no-no.
You got more?
I do. Yes, I do. So not going to read this one because I'm going to put my, my brand fuel marketing hat on. When we started this thing, we were looking at how do we fundraise, and we thought, well, we'll make calls to people, we'll send emails, we'll mail stuff out to folks. That was the old way of doing it, you know. But we had this sense of optimism that we could help. You know, we had this sense here of hope, you know, that we really believed that we could do something really powerful in the community. And we were rebellious in nature. And we say that, it's all those people that say, no, you can't do this. No, it's never been done before. All of those roadblocks that you hear about in your own lives. And you power through that stuff. But today, from a marketing approach, we're looking at our sponsors and our donors and our stakeholders, and we're saying, you know, what are their business love languages? And we're really scratching the surface a little bit. And we're getting collaborative with them, and we're asking them, is this for marketing? You know, are we going to use this for something that would be a B2C consumer experience at a concert event with thousands of people where we can bring your brand to the public? Is this something where, you know, you can get your team out there, your staff, and volunteer and have a wellness program? Can we build something there for you? Can we educate the community, or can we educate the sponsors on community needs, which they may not be in touch with? We feel like that's our role. And still, we still have hope, optimism, and we're still rebellious.
So over the course of 14 years, this is what we've learned. Our success has not necessarily been driven by the calls or the dollars raised or the band or any one person in particular. Our success has come from true collaboration, from personal connection that we build through vulnerability and trust and through shared experience. Shared experience is the secret sauce to any great collaboration. That's the heart of the matter, is spending time with one another, spending time with people that you love and respect on a common goal to do something good. We could go do these things on our own. That's just not as fun. It's all about the fun and the shared experience. At Band Together, we figured out, and I'm going to use a buzzword, I'm giving you a warning right now, we figured out we want to be a catalyst. We are a catalyst organization. We want to help propel a nonprofit further than they could on their own. And that all comes through that shared, that shared experience. We want to go in, we don't want to just be a granting organization where we write a check to a nonprofit. We want to go in and really get to know them, know their cause. We want to get in bed with them. You know, we want to spend a year with these folks and really get to know what they're all about, what we're all about, so we can together have a lot of success. We also, besides being a teacher, we also want to be a student. We want to learn from them. We get just as much out of our collaborations as we put into them. We want to learn best practices in the nonprofit world. We want to learn better ways to connect with donors and volunteers. All this is a give and take in a collaboration. It's what you bring to the table. It's what I bring to the table. We put it all together, and it's special. It all comes down to shared experience.
So we believe that the currency of the new economy is trust. I mean, think about that. You know, this idea around learning to have an openness individually, like we hoped you guys would have this morning with the name tags, your organizations to collaborate. In the nonprofit space, we talk about overlapping resources. Like, why do something that someone else is doing already? Go work with them to make it better. You know, that's more valuable, we think, than trying to go it alone.
So let's do a case study real quick, just to put it in perspective. Step Up Ministry, we've collaborated with them twice, and it's for good reason. It's not necessarily the dollars, like Danny said, it's not the dollars that we're going to raise together, which is awesome and it's fantastic. We just raised $2 million with them this past year. It was awesome. But they really, really understand and love collaboration. Step Up Ministry knows what they do well. They know what they bring to the table. And what they bring to the table is they help people find jobs. They help get them trained, and they help get people into jobs that were having trouble getting there. They also help adults and families with life skills. They help create stability within the family. Those are the core functions of Step Up, and they know that. Now, their clients come in, and it's just not that simple. There's always more issues, more problems than just, I can't get a job. There's always something going around. So what they've done is they've created relationships. They've created partnerships with experts in the community. They've found other collaborators that can do what they need done well that they can't do on their own. So Alliance Medical Ministry is a partner. They help provide health insurance and health care for their clients. Triangle Family Services, Dress for Success, Wake County, Wills for Hope, housing, clothing, cars, transportation. They've partnered with all these organizations, so now together as a team, they're a one-stop shop for a family or an adult that needs to get back on their feet. It's amazing.
So I wonder if like for-profits can do the same, you know? Damn straight they can, and they should, right? All right, so here are your takeaways. Let's do takeaway number 1, the mullets. Find your people, right? Find your people, connect with them, right? Get on the bus or whatever they say. For us, this little Venn diagram represents the people that mostly work well in our organization. The business in front, improved community, volunteers in business, they're writing a big check. They care, they're invested in the nonprofit side. On the flip side, it's very social. It's live music, it's partying, social capital. When we find those people who love both of those things and do both of those things, we do really well. So find your people.
I've said it, I've said the word 10 times. I hope you tweeted it out. Be vulnerable. Build openness. Build trust. That is the key. Put it out there, folks, on the front end. On the front end, you got to put it out there. Go ahead and show people your weakness. It's so against people's, it's against my grain to do that, but you got to put it out there, and it helps. I am going to read from my sheet here now because I don't want to butcher this. Seth Godin, I know a lot of y'all know him. He's a marketing genius. He says this: if you can avoid your fear of confrontation with the truth, you will free yourself to do something important. Saying it takes away the power of the fear. The brave thing is to find the unspeakable fear and speak it. So I challenge you, go be brave. Take your shirt off and walk down the street.
Unless you're a woman. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right, more takeaways for you guys. Set your expectations on the front end. And what we mean by that is, let them know, as hard as it is on the front end, this is what we expect from you. You need to do this in your job roles. Sometimes those conversations are very difficult, but if you don't do that, you will lose later.
To Danny's point about the mullets, you need to find you a group of advisors that's willing to shoot you straight, that understands your vulnerabilities, your weaknesses, your warts, and someone that's going to shoot you straight to help keep you on the path as you move ahead with a collaboration.
So, you know, dare to be different, be brave, all that stuff is really important. It's actually critical. I mean, nobody needs another golf tournament or a walkathon. We just don't. Be creative, right? Be weird, be different. We all know this, but it's harder to do that as well. And Matt and I were talking about the golf tournament. A lot of nonprofits come and talk to us about, you know, essentially how do they do the type of fundraising we do with events. And we always tell them, be creative, be original. And I thought, you know, instead of a golf tournament, why not have a putt-putt tournament, right? And why not have funders there playing putt-putt? And why not have funders there with kids who are receiving the funds from the funders and team them up, right? And then every hole, maybe they have something unique that they do, like blindfold them one hole. Maybe there's a heckler at another hole. Make it creative, because that's what people will remember, and that's more impactful.
Anytime you're on a team, a partnership, a collaboration, you're in the thick of it, right? It's easy to get lost in the day-to-day of just checking off boxes and making things happen. You gotta stop, you gotta pause, you gotta take a moment every week, maybe even every day, and remind yourselves, why are we doing this together? Why are we doing this? It's a mental health break in a meeting. It's that 5 minutes that you spend and you show the end result of the project you're working on. You show a picture of a child or an adult that you're serving. It's the reminder of why we do what we do, because we have to remind ourselves. It's easy to get lost in these massive partnerships. You got to remind yourself.
Last, include others in your decision-making process. You know, be willing to be taught. I mean, look around yourself. Look around. Just look at the people next to you. Don't be shy. This is important because what you need to do to be successful is literally sitting right next to you. So Matt and I talk about this a lot. Connect, serve, help each other out. Oh yeah, wow. So sorry. There we go.
So as we conclude today, I know y'all seen this before. It's a really powerful statement, but it speaks directly to collaboration. And it's this: if you want to go fast, you're welcome to do that. If you want to go fast, go alone.
And if you want to go far, you've got to go together. Thank you.
Thank y'all.